All right, fourth grade, we are back with lesson 29. We are on page 304. It's drawing angles. So let's get started. So read the problem below, then explore how to draw an angle. Draw a 30-degree angle. Think about using two pencils to make an angle. So you can use two pencils. If you know an angle is made up of two rays, this is a ray, and this is a ray. It has an end point, but it does not have a stopping point. It's made up of two rays with a common end point. This is called the vertex. So this is kind of a picture of a 30-degree angle. And that is our picture. Here we're going to model it. So think about a right angle. Here would be a right angle. And you know, we talked about last week, if it has that little square in here, that is the symbol or signal that that is a right angle. And you know, a 30 times 3 equals 90. So imagine rays that split the 90-degree angle into three angles of equal measure. So this is 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees. I'm going to write 30, 30, and 30 degrees. A 30-degree angle will open about the same amount as the angle shown at the right. So it's right here. This one right here would be a good representation of a 30-degree angle. All right, so let's go on to page 305. So I'm going to draw a ray on a sheet of paper. All right, then place the protractor center point on the end of your ray. What part of the angle is that point? So I'm going to get my paper. And I'm going to draw a ray. Got my protractor. And I'm going to draw. So I'm going to draw right here. So a ray has an end point, but it has an arrow that shows that it can go on forever. So this right here, where I place the little dot hole, that is called the vertex. So I keep the protractor center point on the end point of your ray. Draw a point on your ray to the 0. So that's kind of what I've already done. If you look, I have there's my vertex. And if you, let's see, it'll turn it over so I can show you. No. Okay. You're always going to line up your ray along this right here. That line, that's 180 or 0, okay? Depending on which way your ray is pointing. So you're just basically lining it up right there. Now there are two marks on your protractor labeled 30 degrees. Choose the one is 30 degrees from your 0 mark. Draw a point at that mark. So now, you know that a 30-degree angle is going to be acute. That's why I say it's really important to know that. And so I'm going to look, and I'm going to draw it right there. If you look, there's 30 degrees. There is my 0. And then I will take my straight edge, and I will draw it. It's not perfect, but we're not perfect. And that is my 30-degree angle. Now, if you use the straight edge of the protractor to draw a ray from the vertex to the point you drew 30 degrees, if you choose the other 30 degrees and draw a point at the mark, what would the measure of your angle be? So let's try this again. So here we go. Here's my vertex right there. And let's see, we have got our 0, and if we go to the other 30, look at this 30 over here. All right, so let's first, hold on, let's back up. Let's draw our ray. And then I'm going to say, she said 30 degrees. Now, I don't know if it's should be obtuse or acute. We know it's supposed to be acute, but let's just say we were not thinking, and we saw this 30 degrees over here. Well, let's look at what would happen. If I start here, and then I make another angle, I have now made an obtuse angle. And if I look at it, I've actually drawn a 150 degree angle. So you have to be really careful of what they're asking you to draw. Remembering if it's acute, obtuse or right angle. And then that's when you will look to see which 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, all the way to 89 degrees if you're doing acute, which one you will mark, okay? So if I just wasn't thinking and I drew it to the other 30, I would have drawn a 150 degree angle. Now, think about a right angle. Compare it to the angle you drew. How wide is your angle open compared to a right angle? Well, it is 1/3 as wide. Now, use what you have learned to solve these problems. We're going to draw a 75 degree angle and you're going to draw a 100 degree angle. So here we go. I'm going to do it on a separate piece of paper. You can do it in your book, whatever floats your boat. So 75 degree angle. 75 degree. I'm going to put my protractor. I'm going to use my vertex. I'm going to use the little hole right there. I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to draw a straight line. That's my ray. And then it tells me to draw a 75 degree angle. Well, I know that that's going to be acute because it's less than 90 degrees. So I'm going to look, and I'm going to search for 75. Here's 70, 75, 80. So I'm going to make my mark right there at 75 degrees. I'm going to take my protractor, and I'm going to draw a ray through the 75. And here is my 75 degree angle. Now let's do a 100 degree angle. 100 degrees. That is going to be, is that going to be right angle? Now, right angle is 90, an acute is less, and obtuse is more. So keep that in mind when we're drawing it. So I'm going to, once again, going to draw my vertex, use my little hole right here in my protractor. Going to lift it up, draw my ray. Remember, has a vertex. It goes on. It can go on forever if it's a ray. Going to put this back in here. And since I know it's 100, it's got to be past this 90 degrees because this is where my angle is starting. So I'm going to look. I've got 90 here, which would be a right. Then I've got 95, then 100. So now I'm going to get my straight edge, draw another ray, and now I have a 100 degree angle. I will see you in a little bit for the rest of the lesson. Have a great day.